Hare Krishna. I'm overwhelmed by seeing the progress of the Temple of Vedic Planetarium, which was not only the desire of Srila Prabhupada, but the desire of the previous acharyas and ultimately the desire of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. But Srila Prabhupada was chosen by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be the one to instigate the creation of this wonderful temple. Srila Prabhupada once told some of his disciples, what is the use of being Americans if you can't do something wonderful for Lord Chaitanya? And certainly the TOVP is something wonderful. When I was a young devotee, quite new in India, I was trying to understand what pleased Srila Prabhupada. And while he was taking his massage on the balcony of the Calcutta temple, I approached him and I said, Srila Prabhupada, I've been trying to understand what pleases you the most. And I have seen that the two things are distributing your books and building the Mayapur temple. And Srila Prabhupada's face broke into a broad smile and he said, yes, thank you very much. I was based in Calcutta for some time, and from Calcutta, Srila Prabhupada went to different places. And before returning to Calcutta, he stopped in England and worked on some designs for the temple with Narayana Prabhu. And when he returned to Calcutta, he was so enthusiastic about the prospects of the temple in Mayapur. And he had a meeting with all the devotees in Calcutta in his room. And he said, if you all build this temple, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur will personally come and take you all back to Godhead. So it's taken time to come to the stage where we are now, but I believe that now the devotees as individuals and the movement as a collectivity is ready to fulfill this great desire and dream of Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. Sometimes there has been discussion about the style of architecture in Mayapur, and I didn't really have any clear idea myself, but I remember hearing different devotees, some of whom I respected greatly, say that they felt that the style should be consistent with the Bengali style of the other temples in Mayapur. And so that idea was in my mind. Then one year we went on parikrama and visited Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's home in Godrum Dweep. And on his balcony, Bhaktivinoda Thakur looked across the Jalangi River and had a vision of a wonderful temple and a Vedic city dedicated to the service of Sriman Mahaprabhu. And standing on that balcony and imagining Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur standing on the same balcony, looking across the same Jalangi River in the same direction, I saw Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi rise above all the other structures in Mayapur. And I felt that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was pleased. Not just pleased because it was built, but pleased with the style, because the style represented the contributions of devotees from all over the world. And that was what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted, that devotees from all over the world should come to Mayapur. And I felt that he liked the fact that the style employed elements from different parts of the world, brought to it by devotees from different parts of the world. And from that perspective also, I felt that what really mattered was our joint cooperative effort. That from his perspective, someone might be doing a particular service, someone else might be doing another service, but what really counted was that everyone was working together to create, in this case, the Samadhi Mandir for His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. So now the Temple of Vedic Planetarium is coming up. It's the same kind of cooperative effort that went into the Samadhi structure, but on a much larger scale. And the Temple of Vedic Planetarium will be one of the great wonders of the world. And people from all over the world will come and see it. But the temple really is one big preaching exhibit. The temple itself explains, or I should say, depicts the whole philosophy of Krishna consciousness, beginning from the Bhagavad Gita through Srimad Bhagavatam and ultimately Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And there will be devotees and educational material to explain to the visitors what they're seeing, so they can be enriched by knowledge of Krishna consciousness, and at the same time influenced by the spiritual atmosphere of Mayapur and the deities and the worship and the chanting and hearing about Krishna. So, as Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, if you all build this temple, as Srila Prabhupada said, if you all build this temple, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur will personally come and take you all back to Godhead. So this is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to participate in this monumental, historical, transcendental endeavor, and be part of the unfolding of the magnificent plan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the previous acharyas and our beloved Srila Prabhupada. One of my godbrothers, dear godbrother, His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, was very involved with the TOVP. He really put his heart into serving the project. And it was his desire, because he knew that because of his illness, he had very little time left. So he told me that he had just two desires. One is he wanted to be able to reach Mayapur, to travel to Mayapur before he left his body. And second, if he was able to reach Mayapur, to see the installation of the Panchatattva deities and participate in the installation. And he said, and then whatever. And both of those desires were fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada's grace and the Panchatattva's mercy. And just before leaving his body, because I knew how important Mayapur was to him, but still he requested me to help the project. And of course I agreed. He was my dear friend. It was a last request. And in any case, I knew that it was Srila Prabhupada's and our previous Acharya's desire. So I asked, what can I do? What would you like me to do? And he said, the best thing you can do is just speak about the project, speak about the instructions you received from Srila Prabhupada about the project and the realizations you had about the significance of the project. So I'm very happy to have this opportunity to speak. His Holiness Giriraj Swami was very happy before he left that Ambarish Prabhu took the charge of the project. Of course, Srila Prabhupada did request Ambarish Prabhu to build the temple or help with the project. And Ambarish Prabhu is such a gentleman. Srila Prabhupada said his disciples will be known as perfect gentlemen. They'll be recognized as his disciples by being perfect gentlemen. And Ambarish Prabhu is a perfect gentleman. Once he came to Juhu, Bombay, to speak at an event held in Govinda's restaurant to draw attention to the TOVP. And one of Srila Prabhupada's most staunch followers in Bombay or anywhere in the world, Sri P.L. Sethi, was at the event in Govinda's restaurant. And after all the talks were over, he went to leave. And Ambarish Prabhu accompanied him. And when Sri Sethi Ji was getting in his car, Ambarish Prabhu opened the door for him and helped him get seated and closed the door for him. And when Mr. Sethi related this incident to me, he literally wept, shed tears, thinking that Ambarish Prabhu was such a big person from such an important family, but he was so humble that he escorted Mr. Seti to his car and opened and closed the door for him. So Ambarish Prabhu is such a wonderful devotee and perfect gentleman of the highest integrity. And His Holiness Giriraj Swami was very happy that he had agreed to take up the charge of the project. And it's also wonderful that so many of Srila Prabhupada's stalwart disciples who served him personally in Calcutta and Mayapur are also very actively involved in the project in very significant roles. His Grace Bhavananda Prabhu is there, I think, pretty much in charge of everything, in a way. And of course he's assisted by Sadbhuj Prabhu, who's extremely dedicated and competent, and a whole team, very expert and dedicated team. And Srila Prabhupada's disciple Shadadanya Prabhu, who also handled legal affairs for Srila Prabhupada. He's taking care of legal affairs and contracts and just helping in different ways against all odds. He got the permits from the communist government then for the project. But beyond all of these individuals is the divine will of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of the Panchatattva, of Srila Prabhupada, of the previous acharyas. And we can see how they are helping at every step. So as Srila Prabhupada often said, specifically regarding Lord Chaitanya's prediction, Prativiteya Chejato Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachor Hoibe Marnam. That it was his prediction and desire that in every town and village of every country of the world, his name or Krishna's name would be preached and sung. So Srila Prabhupada said, it's Lord Chaitanya's desire, it's his prediction, so it will come to pass. But if you take part in the effort, you will get the credit. And if you don't, someone else will get the credit. So part of spreading Krishna consciousness to every town and village of the world is the establishment of the Temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur. And that was also the prediction and desire of Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So it will happen. We're seeing it's happening now. And if we contribute to the effort, we will get the credit and we'll get the blessings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all of the previous acharyas. So this is a wonderful opportunity. For us, it's once in a lifetime, and for the world, it may be once in centuries that such an opportunity comes, that we can actually become instruments to the divine will of Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva. for our eternal spiritual benefit. And what the temple depicts is actually the ascent of a soul. The story is related in Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita of Gopakumar, how he ascended within the material world and beyond the material world and the spiritual world, and ultimately came to the supreme spiritual planet of Goloka Vrindavan. So all the different levels of the universe, material universe and beyond, even the spiritual sky, they're all depicted in the TOVP, following Gokumar's journey back to the spiritual world. And for all of us who participate in this effort, we will also be undertaking our journey or being carried along by our superiors in our efforts to serve them and please them and be with them eternally in the spiritual world. So I will contribute in whatever way I can to this wonderful project, and I'm sure all of you will too. Hare Krishna.